Ugh. I'll use it to preheat and then I'll have to change. There it is. In the spot where it's supposed to be. What a novel idea. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sam Doesn't Know What He's Doing, and so therefore is standing around staring at various pieces of metal, trying to figure out what you should forge. Today's episode is brought to you by Sam's procrastination. Hello, Metalman, Brad, and Coulter. How you going? Forge and knife. That was a unique idea. Hadn't thought of that one before. Forge a knife. What a novel concept. Hey Paul, how you going? Caitlin, how are we? Isn't it game night? Shouldn't you be doing game stuff? Hey Johnny, yeah, I was away at the Hammerheads. G'day Wiley, how you going? Waiting for devil's dinner. Ah, fair enough. G'day, Aaron. Yeah, you're alright, Metalman. I was just pulling your leg, mate. Yeah, no, that's fine. We can set up a chat if you want, Caitlin. How you going, Bryson? Accidentally drank a whole bottle of tequila. Eesh. I don't know, Caitlin. I do not know. That's what we're trying to figure out. Suggestions are welcome. I actually burned this, which is quite interesting. First I've burned something in my gas forges. Viking hounds. Jonathan Evans, Cat, how are we? Not Trick. Chopsticks. Oh, that is something, isn't it? What is my heart's burning desire? Sleep. That is my heart's burning desire as it currently stands. Why will this not fit in my forge anymore? I'm sad. I'll figure out. I'll probably have to fire up the big forge to scroll the rest of that out. Forge a frog. How would I even... It sounds like a lot of finicky stuff to do today. A weird bit of stream of me sleeping. Yeah, well, people do it. YouTube actually bans sleeping streams. People still do it on like TikTok and stuff. I think Twitch. You have two little metal frogs. That's cute. All right. Well, I'm not really that much of an architectural blacksmith. Maybe my new friend Mark would be willing to make a forged frog, but I'm not really up to speed on that kind of stuff. Your faith in humanity has slipped slightly. Vorpal, how you going? You're very welcome. Glad you learned something. That's why I'm here. I might actually just, I'm honestly not feeling overly inspired, so I might just forge myself a simple knife out of this piece of 3mm by 1.25 or 1.5 inch, 32mm, I believe. I think it's 1/8 by 1.5 inch. 1/8 by 1.5 inch. Otherwise, 38 by 3.2. So now, forge a simple knife. Something I haven't done in a while. Which is total crap. That's recently all I've been doing. Danish axe that was stolen and taken to Sweden. Oh, you want some ADCR V2 and some Desert Ironwood? Nuts. That'll make a good blade. Spearhead. Hawkbill. Hey Craig, how you going? Great weather in Adelaide. Nice. Yeah, let me know how you go. Be interested. Hey Chaz. Hey Casey. Yeah, me too, Caitlin. I do want to try out some ADCR V2. I reckon it'll be an interesting experience. So I've got the blades that I forged for the repeatability video tempering right now. They're on their second temper cycle. So I'll be finishing those in the coming days. I've got to clean my shed out again. It's getting a little dirty. Can't find anything again. Yeah, it was a great show because I wasn't there. I'm just going to forge a simple knife, I think. Hey, you know, I'm wondering. Trying forged in fire. So the majority of the blades that they make tend to be quite large. They tend to be quite long. Set yourself up so that you're able to heat treat something that size, like, you know, a sword or thereabouts. Make sure that you've got the proper facilities to do that, and keep it simple. For the love of fucking Christ. Apologies for the language, but really keep it simple. You don't necessarily have to get good at canister. One of the things that I've found is that, like, your home shop may not have a power hammer, may not have a press, may not have a forge that can melt the canister off a piece of steel. Canister doesn't take that much skill. Just brush up on the theory of canister, at least. You know, understand the premises of, you know, protecting the canister from the core material and stuff like that. I've never made a canister, and I'm pretty sure I could if I wanted to. I would probably go for the ADCR V2 out of those two. But yeah, my sole piece of advice is keep it simple. The guys that go overly complex, while it's great trying to showcase your talent and stuff like that, it's a game show. You're trying to win. And if you're trying to win, keep it bloody stupid. Vandersneaker, yeah, that's it. Ah, you were accepted on the show. Nice. When's your season? That would be a show. Hello, Matthew. Hello to the Falklands. How do I go about sweeping my floors? With a broom. Morning, Dogbone. How you going? COVID. Ah, right, yeah. That's right. I don't have to take everything out. I just sweep around things. I never do a 100% great job on sweeping. I don't need to, really. The hound room was good. Yeah, I was completely wiped out by the end of it, but yeah, no, it was good. My grip progression is normally 60, 120, 240, 400, and then hand sanding. Or if we're being accurate to the grit ratings that are on the belts, it's 60, 120 ceramics, and then a 65, a 45 Trizact. Where is my bobby hammer? There it is. Knocking in the shoulder from the last time I forged on this stuff. I bought my belt grinder. That's not lazy. Hand sanding from 180 is a bitch. Norton Blaze ceramics are great. Of course, Norton Blaze don't go to anything lower than like 120, I believe. I use Cubitrons these days. They're just slightly longer lasting than the Norton, in my experience. But yeah, no, there's definitely nothing wrong with Blaze. Trizacts and Norax are, like, Norax is made by Norton, and it's basically their copy of Trizact. I found them to be just as good as the Trizact, unless you're talking Gator grits. If you can get Trizact Gator grits, they're the best high grit belts on the market. How's it going, Boron? I have not tried Red Label abrasives, no. VSM 36. I do want to try the VSMs. My problem is I have a sponsorship deal with like a guy who serves Cubitron. I do have a sponsorship with the guys who sell VSMs, but that's not part of the sponsorship package. So I'd have to spend money on them. Hey, Trail Dust, how you going? Notice I'm not hitting it very hard, and that's because it's 3 millimeters thick and 38 millimeters wide, and so therefore will want to fold on me rather than forge, so I have to kind of gently upset it into itself. Hey, Metal Blueberries, how you going? Thank you very much, Byron. Have a good week. Have a good dinner, Caitlin. Enjoy. See you next time. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Just flick me a message on Insta and we'll set it up. It feels like I'm moving in slow motion, it's because I basically am. So those of you who've listened to this week's Forgecast episode, what do you reckon? Did Alex do a good job without me there? I suppose Lando was a pretty good stand-in. Alrighty. Well, I'm back next week. We've already recorded next week's episode. Enjoyed the Canadian represent. Yep. We've already recorded next week's episode, featuring someone who's in the chat today. Yeah, Alex said Broden was back up. Yeah, that's true. With all the Canadian vernacular. For those of you who aren't my patrons, aren't awesome enough to be my patrons. Just kidding. You won't have seen the haul that I brought back with me from the Hammer Inn, part of which was this. It's a very large piece of metal, which also happens to be wrought iron. It's 9 kilos, so I weighed it yesterday. 9 kilos of wrought iron, which is like almost 20 pounds of wrought iron. Along with a bunch of other cool stuff. The Hammer Inn was well worth my time. Let's just say. I'm just narrowing it up, getting a little bit more thickness. I like them thick. And 2 C's. Hey Jared, I have used Jarrah as a knife handle, for sure. Next week's episode should be good, for sure. Yeah, you do. Which one was the Jarrah handle one? Because the Puko was Shiok, I think. Hey Wayne, what is my least favorite type of knife to forge? Good question. Hi Michael Coe and Stan, how you going? Least favorite type of blade to forge. Karambit blades. The Ski and Do that you bought had Jarrah, but you gave that away, I think. Have I seen the email I sent a few weeks ago? I don't know. If I didn't respond to it, probably not. I'm sorry, man. I've been terrible with my emails recently. Been terrible with all of my methods of communication. I have not been here, really. I've been a little absent. The body has been present, but the brain has not. My deepest apologies to anyone who's been trying to contact me and I haven't been responding. Fair enough. Yeah, well that one's got a Jarrah handle because I wanted a simple wood that I could carve with a Dremel. That's the last thing I ever carved with a Dremel. But does it have Chatonance? No, that one didn't have Chatonance. And Chatonance isn't my thing, that's Alex's thing. I love a bit of Chatonance, but not as much as Alex does. That boy goes mad for Chatonance. And if you've seen the most recent Forgecast merch, you'll know that. It's basically every episode of the Forgecast summed up in 2 words. Still not narrow enough. All right, Jared. Oh, you're getting a visit from Mr. Donut. Say hi from me. Anyone heard from Randy recently? Hey, Aaron Dennis, how you going? Chad Brown, how are we? So anyone who's watched my video on repeatability will know that all I'm doing right now is focusing on creating the parent bar stock, the correct size of parent bar stock for the blade that I want to make. Preform is everything, and the preform starts in the bar. Who's on Roy's lifeline? Okay, fair enough. He just vanished into the ether for a bit. I'm looking forward to getting my new apron when it finally comes. Apologies. Bloody hay fever. Morning, Warren. How you going? 14,228. Nice. I might have to buy some 14C28 soon. Depending. Waiting to hear back from a client. I be well, Lauren. How be you? So there's my bar stock, and it should be relatively uniform in thickness and width. 5.5, 5.5, 5. So it tapers down towards the tip a little bit, but that's fine. 17 mil. 17 mil, 16 mil. So it does taper down towards the end a little bit, but that's okay because that's going to be the tip of the blade. So I'm not too worried about that. You be fabulous, excellent. Have I ever made a type of Tanto? I've forged a few Tanto-esque things, never finished them. One day. Hell, I have a Wakizashi at the moment that I'm going to be turning into a Tanto. Point on this bar. Yeah, James, how you going? Old scrap mill circular saw blade. Yeah, should be. I am on many of the bladesmithing groups on Facebook, many of them. If the blade has carbide teeth, there's a chance that it might not be, but if it's one of the old mill saws from back in the old days, then yeah, it should be good. One of my inspirations of the week a couple of weeks ago, Don Hansen, who's, you know, quite famous in the bladesmithing communities. He actually makes a line of knives out of old sawmill blades. old handsaw and 1075. Yeah, that should work. I've found that old handsaw tends to etch quite dark, so you might find that there's not a lot of contrast. Any recommendations for beginners' fun skill building project? I would recommend starting with relatively simple artisanal blacksmithing stuff like leaves. Leaves, bottle openers. Even if your eventual goal is to get into bladesmithing, if you want to forge your blades, it pays to learn how to forge first before learning how to forge blades. I became 300% better as a bladesmith when I learned how to be a blacksmith first. I mean, I started forging blades. Like, the first thing I started forging was blades. But, yeah, you're much better off to start learning on blacksmithing if you want to learn how to forge. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly right, Lauren. And, you know, forging, you know, in blacksmithing is exactly the same as bladesmithing. You're getting it hot, you're hitting it hard. But bladesmithing is a fine motor skill in blacksmithing, like in as far as blacksmithing has fine motor skills with a hammer. Bladesmiths traditionally were viewed as being like the jewelers of the blacksmith world because it's all very fine detail. You know, it's not lots of gross motor movement. And so therefore requires a little bit more finesse than like tool forging and stuff like that. So if you learn artisanal blacksmithing, leaves and various things that require lots of hammer work to get a finish, you're going to find that your bladesmithing work is going to improve 10,000-fold. 6 mil thick. Oh, that's good. Scalpel versus machete. That's right. Basics first. Exactly right. I'm just making a simple knife today, James. I'm actually trying to recreate a knife I forged at the Hammer Inn. Though I was attempting to do it on the repeatability video, but I went a little oversize on everything, so I made it a bit narrow at the stern, and I'm carefully dressing in my tapers. So I was really happy with how that blade came out, but because I'm the kind of person that likes to give things away, I give away all of the blades that I make at demonstrations. And I gave that one away to a fellow bladesmith, for them to finish. But now I don't have it as a reference, and so I'm I'm stuck trying to recreate it from memory. Gotta love a bladesmith smithing blades. Indeed right. Doing what it says on the label. Well, that being said, I have to get back to making hammers. Oy. But I did finally put the finishing touches on the forging of the sword, so that you can look forward to seeing that soon. My patrons have already had a glimpse at it. flux on it. I don't know how I got flux on it, but I somehow have managed to find myself with a blade covered in flux. And take a block brush to it. Get rid of that flux, because it's annoying me. It needs to flux off. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, one of the one that Jared's got. The day has just become free. Ah, yeah, that always sucks. Started smithing 50 years ago, never made a knife. Well, you know, knives aren't for everyone. Hey, Ben. A lot of practice is always a good idea. Basically a paring knife, more like a bird and trout knife. Biggest shot pet peeve. The Cutlass hammer. Yeah, right. Cool. Love my Cutlass hammers. Actually, talking of Cutlass hammers, I'm about to use mine after I do this heat. Get rid of that flux, wherever it came from. I know where it came from. Just being obtuse. Remember, guys, it's all about the preform. All about the preform. So this is our preform as it currently stands. Nice and clean. No hammer marks. That's not a hammer mark. That's just soot. You got your distal tape addressed in from where the blade is going to start down to the tip. Nice even curve. There's maybe a little bit of a hump there, which I'll have to dress out. Do I ever use solid fuel? Funny you should ask. Yes, I do. See you later, metal man. You and me both, Aaron. Hey, Mark, how you going? Hi, Damascus. Got a new anvil? Cool. New anvils are always nice. Hammer goes back on the hammer rack, and now we're on to the English Cutlass hammer, which has been freshly redressed, as you may notice. 175 pounds, you got it for $800. Nice. Well, this one's about 170 pounds. That is nice. That is good. All right, bevel forging time. How long of a blade do I want? About that long. Butchered that really badly, but you know, we will survive. I'm losing pressure. Running out of gas. I'm kind of happy that anvils don't grow on trees because I wouldn't want one hitting me in the head. Hey, Soggy Bottom, how you going? Offcuts of H13. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Pretty much Damascus. Yeah, I do love my English Cutlass hammers. Well, you cannot see it, but behind my bench grinder over there, I have my little post anvil. You're in 2 anvils now. Oh, you're officially a proper blacksmith. Isn't that how it works? When will I be forging a Damascus dog's head hammer? Sometime in the future. Not too long from now. I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see a little better. Oh, the Akiyaos, yeah, they're pretty good. Good evening to Brazil from Australia. How are we? And zoom. Oh, yeah, those little 10 kilo ones. I actually wanted to buy one of those, but yeah, I was like, $100 for a little anvil. I could justify that, but then I can't justify it. So, at least I sold the 50-ton eccentric press. Sold it for what I paid for it, so didn't make any money on it, but I sold it to someone that's going to let me use it, so can't be too unhappy about it. And into further answer to your question earlier, Matt, I don't really like Damascus hammers because hammers to me are things that you leave in the shop and they end up getting rusty and you lose a lot of definition. And with Damascus, the moment it gets rusty, you lose a lot of the contrast. So I prefer engraved or inlaid hammers where the ornamentation, like it's still ornamented, but the ornamentation is in some ways permanent, like more permanent, you're not going to lose it to discoloration. So I much prefer to make engraved inlaid hammers. Hence why I engrave stuff. Hey Joe. Damascus is for art. Yeah, exactly right. I'm not in the Peter Burt giveaway. I've already won one Peter Burt giveaway. I don't need to win another one. All good, Rob. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Ben Strickland, how you going? Use woods, it's better and stronger. I wouldn't make a hammer out of woods. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a lot more wrought-bodied steel-faced hammers, like the one, the Viking crossbeam that I made in a stream a while back. And I'm out of gas. Let me just switch bottles. Fluff, 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 fluff. Loop, hiss, and no, it doesn't mean any sort of danger. It's just that it's running out of gas. £800 for a foot-long bore. Ooh, nice. Dangerous screw-up Yates. Yeah, that's about the only one. Hey, Brian, how you going? Needed that little bit straighter. the bar and forge the tang out. Hey, Hans, how you going, man? Long time no see. See you later, Notrick. Yeah, gas forges aren't really a bomb. I will tell you that. Oh no, bladesmiths do the anvil wrap all the time. Good old whack forging. Yeah, bird dry knives are super busy. Yeah, how's the build going? We were talking about woots. I actually have some. It's in here. Courtesy of a Mr. Aaron Finn. Schrodinger's woots. As we have come to refer to it as. Where are those bladesmithing tongs? I feel like I need multiple sets. Wondering why it's called Schrodinger's woots is because we don't actually know what it is. We know that it was an attempt at woots. Whether or not it's actually woots, we'll have to find out. I have every confidence in Aaron's mathematics though, so I think the only risk I run is that there's potentially air bubbles in it that could potentially crack on me, which I'm a little terrified of because it's the first time I've been playing with woots. Using the diagonal pane to give me a little bit of a flare to the handle. I like a flared butt. Who doesn't like a flared butt? No, I didn't have to dress the Cutlass hammer after Adam got through with it, thankfully. Just me. I do enough damage to the English Cutler on my own. It was the first English Cutler I ever made. It's a little softer than the rest. Dress a little bit of taper in there. Dressing the flare already created some taper, but taper the tang down a little bit more. Ideally, you'd actually want to keep the tang parallel, because then you can grind a taper in there, and it's much more controllable. much easier to keep everything straight. But I don't pay attention to best practices. Now just straighten the blade out, and that's done. Ah. Pick it up, Sam. Like 2 millimeters narrower, and I wouldn't be able to pick that up with the bladesmithing top, with those bladesmithing top. Back to the English Cutlass hammer. Yeah, I'd say you're probably the only person there, Aaron, from what I've seen. Every day I step closer to emulating my heroes like Lin Ray. Just one hammer blow at a time. I'm nowhere near his skill level, but more in reference to the journey I'm on. The goals I have set for myself. One more heat and it should be done. Death metal, black metal, not really. Oh, nice, Aaron. Hello, Ben. You like a lot of metal? Well, that's good. There are a few metal songs that I don't mind, but yeah, it's not my main drug of choice when it comes to music, I will admit. Just dressing out a twist. There we go. Much better. Loop. That's better. It's much more like the blade that I forged at the hammer in. Just needed to go narrower. You should make a knife, Damascus. You should. I totally agree. Can I make a very shiny bar? Probably got a shiny bar around here somewhere. There we go. Ta-da! Shiny bar. It's a very shiny bar, 1045. Ugh. Here's one I prepared earlier. Hey, D-Buck, how you going? $52,100. It's fun, gives you Popeye arms. Yeah. Oh man, I would love to meet Lynn. Well, it's a very practical design. Like, it's a very practical design of knife. 52-100 is not just fun for forging, it's also fun for heat treating. It's, you know, it'll give you nightmares. But yeah, it's a very practical, very simple design. If the camera would fucking focus. Anyway. Yeah, very simple, very effective design. And as my old teacher used to tell me, you can do everything in the world with a finger's length of blade. And that's exactly the length of this. So yeah. And it'll take very little grinding to take it from that to a finished piece. And if we compare it to the repetition blades, so these have been profile ground, but a little bit wider, a little bit, it's still hot from the tempering oven, so I can't hold it. But yeah, a little bit wider, a little bit chunkier. Similar premise. But I really like narrow blades. Let me get my Vernier Calipers, Wiley. Where are my Verniers? There they are. So let's go dimensions. At the Ricasso, it should be 16 mil by 5 mil, tapering down to at the at the very tippy top, 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter thick up there. And then the edge is 1.5 millimeters. 1.5 millimeters. Yeah. So yeah, 1.5 millimeters thick at the edge. Doesn't need to be much thicker than that. Doesn't need to be much thinner than that because I want to, you know, give myself an allowance for decarb. Hey Paul, how you going? I think it's steel 24/7. Well, I have steel at all times. How you going, Corey? Yeah, no, I do like narrow blades, so that one's a really good one. I want to keep it. Yes, yeah, that's width, that's thickness. And because it tapers from 5 down to 1, and then it's 5 down to 1.5 in that direction. Yeah. Full flat ground. Should be a nice knife. And like every other knife that I make, I want to keep it. Actually, that's not true. I don't particularly want to keep the repetition blades. I'll sell those. The long blade. Yeah, it's not that long. It's only 4 inches. I think almost exactly 4 inches. It should be. From plunge to tip, it is 3 3/4. 3 3/4 inches. It's a little bit less than 4. Perfect blade length for an EDC. The average house owner probably doesn't know what a really sharp knife is. Probably not. Nor do they really need to. I mean, those of us who are interested in knives and those of us who are interested in actual edges are, you know, going to get better results than they are. But the realistic thing is, if it cuts stuff, then whatever. You know, I'm not going to be harping on about it to people who don't care. Hey Ben, how you going? Today we made a little full tang hunter. Yes, that's correct, Aaron. Yep, made a little full tang hunter. It's still warm, but I can probably quench it now. So. I dropped it. Of course I did. In the mankiest of tanks. Yeah, just a little hunter. Nice and simple. Oh, cast aluminium handles are very plausible. So yeah, this is what I'd call a practical size blade. No worries, Roman. See you later, mate. You wanted to see the post handle, the stake handle. I've got a video on fabricating it on my channel, so it's not like it hasn't been seen before. Hung up on a bolt. Hey, Dragon Water. So yeah, this is the post handle. It's just a piece of 4140 axle offcut from the mine sites, welded onto a 20 mil or 3/4 inch thick plate, which is then welded onto a piece of 200 by 200 RHS. Literal post, exactly right. Hey Adam, how you going? Yeah, the Germans were very popular with their cast aluminium handles, especially in the 70s and 80s. I think it actually started in Germany in the 50s. Post-war Germany started bashing out a whole bunch of cast aluminium handled knives with deer antler inserts. Oh, you got the new shed. Nice. They didn't really move into solid cast aluminium handles too much. They like to have a little bit of natural material in there. There's a really good video on YouTube of the Montana Bladesmiths, I think it is. And basically it's a pair of brothers who got taught by their grandfather to make aluminium handled knives. Yeah, so they're not my favorite, to be honest, because aluminium scratches really easily and it's just not really nice to play with. So I prefer natural materials for my handles. Yeah, it's just fabricating. I think it's called forging a spoon and fabricating my post handle or something like that, because I forged a spoon on it. So yeah. But yeah, that was just a simple knife. It's really nice to get back to simple stuff occasionally. To just, take a break from doing the more complex forgings and take a crack at something that I should forge more of. Aluminium, it's not gross, but yeah, it's not great to work with. It's not fun to work with for sure. So grinding aluminium is a nightmare for sure. Get your timber from Otway Fiddleback, indeed. Do it. Ryan's a good good person to talk to about that. Hate the patina. Yeah, well. Making a fork. I've made a fork. I think I made a fork on the channel. I'm not sure if I made a fork on the channel, but yeah, maybe in another live stream. This is it for today. Just the little hunter. I've now got to finish off working on a bunch of other stuff. So I will catch you all later. Thank you very much for joining me. And I'm live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time, just like today. I have a video coming out on Wednesday. I have no idea what it's going to be because I haven't filmed it yet, but I will be recording it in the next couple of days. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, there is a link to my Patreon down below, or a link to my PayPal donation site if you want to donate for a single time. But yeah, if you join my Patreon, you get access to behind the scenes stuff and classes and stuff like that I don't post to my main site. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go and check that out. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.